Professor Ashwini Chhatre, the Executive Director of the Bharati Institute of Public Policy. And I would request Professor Chhatre to please give us an introduction and an overview of the high frequency indicators that we have now on the India Data Portal. Over to you.
Thank you, Arshi. It is my great pleasure to share with you this new development. India Data Portal, as many of you already know, has been building up its repository of public data. And in response to the economic downturn triggered by the lockdown and the pandemic, there are multiple efforts on ensuring that the economy recovers quickly and its trajectory is in the right direction in terms of cross-sectoral balance. The central government has announced several initiatives, including a cumulative total of 20 lakh crores as a stimulus, and every state government is trying to do its best to help the struggling economic actors as soon as they can identify a meaningful intervention to make this possible. The high frequency indicators caters to a specific demand in this new context, where we need to be very careful about how these investments are made, because the stimulus money is not costless. And we need to understand not just whether the stimulus, the investments are being made wisely, we also need to make sure that they are being targeted correctly. And unfortunately, we cannot wait 6 months or 1 year, which is usually the case, before we find out if our investments are actually hitting the right target. High frequency indicators and in near real time caters to this need of finding out what is happening to the economy and linking it back to the efforts that are being made to ensure economic recovery in quick time. We can see some of this already. It's being discussed in the newspapers, and the media is reporting every day on different indicators. What we present here is a one-stop portal where multiple indicators, some at a daily frequency, others at a monthly frequency, will be available for visualization, for comparison, and for evaluating the impact of different efforts, including stimulus for the economy. It is something that we have just started, and we will continue to update it as and when new data becomes available. The daily indicators will, of course, be updated most frequently and will provide the clearest window in near real time within a few days, such as fertilizer sales, for example, that have been discussed in the media recently, as at least indicating a robust rural sector that, of course, tailors very nicely with the positive news on the monsoon front. But we also see that company registrations, for example, which is a very good indicator of the outlook and the sentiment of entrepreneurs, is also picking up and has already, new registrations for companies have already crossed the mark for June compared to the same time last year, after falling dramatically over March, April, and May. These are indicators that should be seen together, and that is what the portal makes possible. So any one indicator is only sort of indicative, but if 4 or 5 indicators are showing a similar trend, then we should have greater confidence on how the economy is performing. The second important aspect that I want to bring out here, for many of the indicators that we have developed, is the high spatial resolution. So while the indicators are useful at the country level to understand how the country's economy is doing, it's not always the same everywhere. And some parts of the economy, either in terms of sectors or in terms of states, are doing better than others. So many indicators are broken down to the state level, and some are even available at the district level. And many indicators are broken down into component parts, such as sector, so that we can better understand patterns of economic recovery from real-time data at high frequency, daily and monthly. This is a portal that is available for everyone to access. It has a very small cost in terms of asking the user to create a login, which is a very simple one-step process. And it will be something that we will update constantly from now onwards, so that all stakeholders, journalists, citizens, NGOs, but most importantly, policymakers themselves, can keep track of how the economy is doing in one place without having to go to 20 different sources to find a synaptic view of how the economy is performing. The portal is now operational, and we would like to take a few minutes to run you through some of the key features of what it looks like and what it can do at present. So I would like to request and welcome Professor Avik Sarkar, who has been instrumental in creating the portal and shepherding its development, to show us how the portal works.
So thanks a lot, Professor Ashwini. So let me share my screen and let me know if you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yes. So let me just tell people about the URL. So this is the URL where you can access the portal on indiadataportal.com/JSI. So we are doing all these activities under the Jumpstart India initiative of India and School of Business, and JSI, Jumpstart India, is the acronym for that, and we are doing that project under that. So let me just copy this URL and paste it in the browser. I am already logged in here, so let me log out. And also let me take a new screen. So I go to the URL which I had shown you, indiadataportal.com/JSI. Once you do that, you will come to the landing page of this portal. And let me just walk you through the main elements of the landing page before I explain you its features. So as Professor Ashwini was talking about, we have two types of data. One that is updated on a daily basis or available on this portal on a daily basis. So you have every day's data. So it's a daily one. And the other one is the monthly one. So currently we have selected daily. From those indicators, we have three types of spatial resolution. The map that you see in front of me is at the resolution of India. So you can see by default what is selected is fertilizer sales, and the quantity sold in fertilizer sales for the most recent date that we have available, that is 9th of August, is 256K metric tons. The data can also be available at a state and a district level. So let me just show you. So this is the data that is showing, and by default, the last 90 days data is shown here. What is also there is the comparison with the last year. So there are this time selected and the last year. So if you want to see just the current year's data, you can deselect the last year data, and you will only see the current year's data. So let me see the current year's data for a few Indian states which are heavy on the agriculture front. And say I select a few states like Uttar Pradesh, I select the neighboring state of Madhya Pradesh. I also select the state of say Maharashtra. The three states I have selected, and you can see I can see three lines for the three states which are at the bottom, and there is an India line also at the top. That's the line. These three lines are coming at the bottom. How can I switch off the India line? You can see a small icon on the top, hide India, and I just press on that, and the India line gets hidden. So now you can see you have a much more clearer view of the three states with the three colors: Madhya Pradesh in orangish, Uttar Pradesh in pink, and Maharashtra in light blue. These three. But what we are seeing is the current year's data only. I can see the last year's data also just by clicking this simple button on the of last year. What we see is the data from the middle of May till end of August. And as Professor Ashwini was talking about, one of the main objectives of the portal is to understand economic recovery. So if you would like to see what happened, say, during the lockdown period, say from the time of March. So I have a slider here, so I can choose the last 30 days, last 60 days, last 90 days. And I also have a time slider here, which is currently at May till August is selected. I go a few months back on the slider and I basically select a time from say February till August time frame. And you can see when I show you the current data, there is a dip in the line charts, the temporal variation as compared to last year. Those dips were not there. So that is one of the very interesting features of the site. There are a lot of other indicators also on the site, and we can actually compare these indicators all together on the same interface. And that is what the power that this site provides. You can see a small icon at the bottom, add a data card. So I will just click on that, add a data card. What happens is that if I add a data card, I have this quantity sold over last 7 days on the top, and I have another data card coming at the bottom. Say I select the transactions over here, the transactions that are there. I can then select another data card and I want to select another activity, agriculture markets and economic value in agriculture markets. So I can select another activity. Then when I go to the fourth indicator, it actually changes the view for the ease of comparison. So I select the fourth indicator, so I add another data card, and you can see that the view changes from a map on the left and a line chart on the right to a gridded type of view where I have the line charts on all 4 of them. Where this one, the first one is for fertilizer sales, quantity sold. Second one is the fertilizer sales transactions. The third one is for the agriculture markets, about the quantity of agriculture and the economic value of the quantity sold. And in the last one, I select, say, the jobs that were provided in Manrega. And I select the work demanded in Manrega. And I can see these 4 indicators all together on the same chart. So this is the value that I get. And now I want to go back to the main screen, and I can do that very easily by pressing this reset button on the top right. So I go and press the reset button because I want to show you another feature, which is previously I was comparing 3 or 4 states. Now what I am doing is that I want to go inside a particular state. Say I select Uttar Pradesh and I click on this feature called Zoom. When I click on the feature called Zoom, previously I was seeing the all India values, but now the line chart on the right shows me the value of Uttar Pradesh only. And the districts of Uttar Pradesh are highlighted. The chart that was for the India chart has now got changed to the chart of Uttar Pradesh. And I only see the district of Uttar Pradesh there. In a very similar manner, I can now compare 4 districts of Uttar Pradesh. So I can say, select Shahjahanpur, Kheri, and Bareilly. I select a few districts here on the chart. So I can only select 4 of them, and I can see the line chart working on that level for this data. So I can again go and do reset this value, and I can see those values again. Again, for the a lot of the data sets are presented here, and at times you will see we are actually giving you a description of the data. So here you see the short name. On there, you will see a title of the data, average quantity sold, but you might have more questions about what this data is and what it is not. So we have an eye icon on the top, which is the information icon, which tells you a bit more about the data, say the quantity of fertilizer sold at retailers across all the POS, using the POS devices. So if it's only of retailers who are with POS devices are listed here, there can be retailers who are selling fertilizers through non-POS devices. They are not listed here. So just to give you a clarity, because when as researchers or as journalists you want to write more about it, this is the type of details that you would like to have. there are these three lines that you can see on the right, which is very important for your perspective. Say you have a chart in front of you, and there are this view data, download data, and download image. When you go to the view data, you can actually view the data as a pop-up. The actual data that has been plotted, it just comes up to you. You can download the data, and if I download data, it will download the data in a CSV format, and it will also download the image that you see on the screen if you want to use in some other story directly available. The source of the data is very nicely highlighted with, say, the data coming from the Department of Fertilizers, and the chart is created from the India Data Portal. All the same features are here. In the daily indicators, you have 7 indicators. You can similarly go to the monthly indicators just by selecting that switch, and you can see the monthly indicators. I will not repeat the same things for the monthly indicators, as there is a long list of indicators also available in monthly, like company registration, digital payment, e-way bills, foreign direct investment, GST collection, that is on the health of the thing, and then railway freight, vehicle registration. I'll just quickly show you one data point on company registration that will show you how the economic recovery is happening, has happened actually. So I see the number of registered companies over the last 6 months in India, and this is what this value shows here. And you can see the dark line is for the current year, and the dotted line is for the last year. You can see that the dark line, the number of companies registered, actually dropped quite a lot during the months of March, April, and May. But when we are in the month of June, the number of companies registered is again coming back to the level of last year. So last year was a lot of flat line, like the dotted line is showing you. And you can also see some of the states which have a large number of companies registered. See, I will select for this purpose, maybe states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu are 3 states I select. I see, you will see, I will switch off the India comparison again. You can see that this state, Maharashtra, had taken a large hit in the number of companies registered, whereas other states like Karnataka also went through a big hit in the companies registered, as compared to Tamil Nadu also saw a small hit in the number of companies registered during the last few months. But then again, they are all coming back to normal as we see this. So these were primarily the main features of the site. Here also you can add more cards as we are showing for the previous data. You can add multiple charts and compare this multiple indicators. This is something that I will each one of you to try on your own. But with that, I would like to.
Avik,
yes.
Avik, there is a request for air quality, because that is certainly not usually included in these indicators.
Yes, sure. So air quality is a daily indicator, and it's a very good indicator that we could get our data on. Air quality is at a city level. So we have the state and the district. So let me just select air quality. So one of the very important determinant of air quality is the nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. So when we look at nitrogen and dioxide levels, we see, again, the terminology is that you see the red circle on the capital city, and all others are the state capital. So you see there is Delhi is highlighted, and I have the air quality also compared for last year. Let me switch off the last year comparison for a moment and compare Delhi with few other cities. Maybe I compare it with Mumbai, I compare it with Jaipur, and I compare it with, say, Kolkata. So I compare this with 4 other cities. I can see that the air quality level for Delhi for nitrogen dioxide is the highest, whereas the other 3 cities have moderate value. Jaipur has lesser value, Mumbai also lesser value, and Kolkata also lesser value. So Delhi is one of the higher polluting city from the air quality perspective. And you can select other cities and go on and look into there. Very interesting feature about this chart is that you can go from, I will deselect some of the other cities. Delhi, and I can actually go from, say, looking at data of Mumbai only from Maharashtra. I can click on the map of Maharashtra and click on the same zoom feature. In this case, what it gives us is that the map of Maharashtra comes up, where each of the district centers, the district headquarters of the state of Maharashtra is highlighted. And now you can actually see the air quality, not of just Mumbai, which is again the state capital, but you can see for the other cities of Maharashtra also. So each of the cities, you can see the district capital, and you can then compare them with Mumbai or without Mumbai. We have limited it to 4 cities comparison for the limitation of the space here. So you can see Mumbai has been compared with 4 other cities: Jalna, Akola, and Osmanabad. And you can again go back to the main chart and go to any other state and compare and see the similar things. What a very interesting thing is that you can have your selection, like selection of the districts at the same place, and go and change to different indicators, say sulfur dioxide. All the other values remains the same, but the indicator that is being shown now is sulfur dioxide, the average sulfur dioxide density over the last 30 days. And there is some details also, because this is the data that we are getting from satellite sources, satellite imagery based sources. So some details is also provided there. If there is anything else, or I would like to pass on the control back to Professor.
Thank you, Avik. That's great. There have also been questions that some of us have been trying to answer on the fly, but this is a good time for any other burning questions. The portal is fully accessible. There is no charge. It requires every user to create a login. But other than that, we really welcome suggestions on what can be improved and how can we support the use of this data in monitoring economic recovery.
Thank you so much, Professor Chhatre and Professor Sarkar. Now we would request everyone, in case you have any questions, please type on the Q&A box. You can also send us messages on the chat box, and we have our partners as well as a number of journalists, invited journalists on the panel itself. In case somebody wants to speak, please requesting you to raise your hand so that we know. Okay, so there is a question from a journalist who is asking, how authentic is the data being used?
It could not be more authentic. So the sources are given. So any data that is on the portal comes with a source. Where is it taken from? And it's a public source. It's not a private source. So there's nothing hidden there. And all these sources so far are in the public domain. So it's easy to cross-check. The authenticity of the data, therefore, is not in question. But the quality of the data may be in question. And in some cases, we have chosen to exercise our own judgment in not sharing data on the portal that we think has mistakes which are inadvertent, and these kind of mistakes are common in data series at this high frequency. Those data sets are not shared, and some parts of some data sets are not shared for that reason. So we conduct our own health checks, but the authenticity comes from the source of the data. And we are presenting the data as we find it on the source, and it is publicly available. All data that is on the portal is available for anyone else by going to the source that we provide on the portal.
Thank you so much. We've got another question about what are the languages in which this this is available right now?
It's English, but we are working very hard to make it available in several Indian languages. And Arushi, do we have a sense of how soon will we be able to do that?
So we are hoping to have 6 languages on the portal by the end of this month. So on the India data portal, and slowly and steadily, all the data sets would be converted into all these languages. I'm just looking at some more questions. So for all the attendees, please do type in on the question and answer box. Well, this is a question that is not exactly for the portal, but yeah, a very general question saying, going by what you have done so far, what is your impression of the efficacy of the stimulus pumped in so far? So I don't think so. This
no comment.
Portal. Yeah.
That is not the function of the portal. That is what we want you to use the portal for. Check the data that we put on the portal and sort of create an argument for where it is working, whether it is working, and why is it working or not working. So our responsibility here is to provide multiple data streams in near real time at high resolution, at high frequency, so that journalists can do their job better. But I would not comment on whether the stimulus is working or not.
There is a question saying that, is it possible to borrow these charts that you are presenting on IDP? Can I use them for my stories as is by giving credit to India Data Portal? Absolutely.
We want people to use it in whichever form they like, and whichever medium that suits its use. We want this data to be used because it is publicly available data on transactions of the government and the interactions between citizens and the state. This is data that must be used, and used in ways that informs our discussions of the economy.
Some of the answers you've already been giving on the chat box itself. So, you know, most of the questions are covered by answers already mentioned there. So to the answer that you've already given, there is the next question saying the portal will mainly act as a diverse database, right? So yes, it will definitely act as a diverse database. We are going to increase the kind of data and that's already available on the portal, and lots of data would be added very soon.
So there are other questions on the Q&A. So one is about what technologies, tools have you used to develop the portal? Do you provide any kind of API for integration with other applications as required? I would urge you to write to us. This is the idp@isb.edu. These are technical questions that are not really related to the data itself. So let's take this offline. We are very happy. We want people to use it. And the more ways in which we can make it possible, we would like to hear from you. Our technology partners are Graminer, a company that is one of the leading data analytics company in India, and of course, well known for its visualizations on TV and election analysis and so on. The work is very generously supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And we have several other partners that ISB continues to lean upon and rely upon for access to the data itself, in government and outside. There are many chats.
So one of this is saying that what is the time frame for continuation of the portal? Economic recovery might take 2 years or more than that. So do we expect the portal to continue updating data for that time?
Well, this is a great question for a segue, because the the high frequency indicators of economic recovery is part of the India data portal. So I hope that when you look at the high frequency indicators, you will also notice that there are many other data sets on agriculture and financial inclusion, for example, and the India data portal is forever. That is not going away. And whether economic recovery takes 1 year or 2 year or 3 year, all the data sets that are available right now on the high frequency indicators website will also be available on the main India data portal page. So including all the other data sets that are not really about either high frequency or about economic recovery. So the simple answer is that this particular page may only be 1 year or 2 years in terms of its life, but the data that you see will remain on the India data portal and will continue to be updated and upgraded, and we will continue to add new data sets to the portal.
On the Q&A, we have some questions.
So there's one about how do we link economic recovery decline in economic activity to AQI, air quality index. So we have not provided AQI data. We have provided 3 pollutants, it's called SOx, NOx, and ozone, WOX. So there's ozone, there is nitrous oxide, and there's sulfur dioxide. All of these indicate economic activity. They are bad for us, but they are also inevitable parts of urban life, and especially in India. And all of us have seen these stories over the past 3-4 months of clear skies in Delhi, blue skies in Chennai or wherever, where it was never visible earlier, and sort of jackals and wild boars traveling the streets during broad daylight because there are no people. All of these are indicators of economic activity in a positive or negative sense. So the more economic activity there is, particularly for Indian cities, the more pollution there is. And that is the nature of the beast. In the short term, the more pollution there is, the more activity there is. And that is the simplest link. Of course, it's not straightforward. And there are sort of different, there are multiple dynamics of atmospheric chemistry that go on. But overall, compared to last year, it sort of provides one indicator of what is going on in a particular city.
So the next question says, for certain data sets, do we have granularity beyond district as well? For maps, we chose to display all India, state and district, but do we have more granular data available in underlying data sets?
In many cases, yes. And our next update to the portal will be to not only add new data sets and update current data sets, but also provide greater granularity. So for example, NREGA data we have down to the panchayat level. Which one? The exports data we have down to the export custom office level. So there are many data sets for which we have granular data. As of now, we have only provided down to the district level. In the next update, when the portal is upgraded, perhaps in a month or so, we plan to provide greater granularity on many data sets for which we have the necessary high resolution data.
There's another question that says, is it possible to add particulate matter levels as another data set under air quality?
Yes, that is something that we are very keen to do. We are cleaning the data. This is also available. For example, CPCB makes a lot of data available for its ground stations in 54 cities. These are automated weather stations. The data streams themselves are somewhat challenging, so we have not included it in our first release today, but that is data that we are carefully looking at, and it will be included in it will be added to the portal as soon as we are able to figure out a way to automate the cleaning process.
The next question says, do we have data sets on telecom or SIM card registration?
No. So I welcome information on new data sets and new sources of data. So far, we have not been able to find. TRAI has some data that we are working on. It's monthly frequency on download speeds. But beyond that, we have not been able to find any publicly available and accessible data sets on telecom or internet use or SIM cards and so on. We have Aadhaar authentications, which we will add in our next update. And that is also by industry. So we can isolate telecom registrations using Aadhaar from UIDAI, but that will be in the next update. We are still cleaning that data.
Right. So another question on the chat was, is it possible to have a view or arrive at a view about intersectoral impact of economic trends? Is there a possibility of having aviation, tourism, maritime kind of data?
Yes. We have already added railway freight data for different categories, for coal, for cement, for food grains, for containers and so on. We will shortly also add shipping data and exports, for example. We are also, again, compiling air travelers, passenger air traffic data. The main challenge here is how do we automate the cleaning and updating of data so that we create a pipeline. So none of the data sets that you see are sort of straightforward. They are all on different websites with different architectures, even different legacy database programs and structures. So the technical challenge needs to be overcome before we can share all of these data sets. But yes, transport data, either in terms of air travelers or rail traffic or shipping, is something that we are cleaning, and we will add to the portal as soon as possible. So there will be updates to the portal in terms of new data sets continuously.
Yeah, right. So another question in the same line is, do we have a way to pull in organized sector employment data?
We are struggling with this, but right now we don't have any real-time source that allows us to find out what is the status and how it is changing. And one problem also is that it doesn't change very much in the short term in the formal sector. And it takes a long time. The reporting formats are such that it takes a long time for even the tax authorities to figure it out. So right now we don't have any source to indicate change in formal employment.
So one question in the chat is, do we have any indicators that show the gender perspective of economic recovery?
Yes, one indicator that we are preparing to parse is NREGA, for which we have not only by gender, but also by marginal groups. So scheduled castes and scheduled tribes that have, of course, that are already marginalized in many parts of India and are also suffering disproportionately from both reverse migration as well as other forms of economic distress that are more indirect in nature. So NREGA data is our good indicator of real-time distress. And we have that data available at a higher spatial resolution and temporal resolution for men and women, as well as for scheduled tribes and scheduled castes. So we are working on that, and we hope to provide it very, very soon.
Right. So a question that covers a lot of aspects is, why should we prefer India Data Portal for data intake instead of other data sources?
You should prefer it because it's all in one place, and we give you the source. You can go and check it out. If there are questions around trust, we would be very happy to hear you and answer your concerns. The only service that India Data Portal provides is it compiles all the different data and sort of saves you the trouble of going to 5 or 20 different websites where you will find data in different formats. Some will be PDF, some will be Excel, some will be formatted HTML. And it takes a long time and a lot of effort to find 2 indicators on different websites and format them for visualization. So we have done all the work for you. We have provided you with the source so that you can go and check for yourself. And I only hope that you will trust the India portal and learn and come to trust the India portal for all your data needs. It's all in one place.
So thank you so much, Professor Chhatre and Professor Sarkar. I think we are over with our questions. There's nothing on the chat box or the Q&A anymore. Thank you everyone for attending this event today. We hope, we will stay in touch. We will cater to your needs when it comes to India Data Portal. And please feel free to write to us at idp@isb.edu. So that is our email ID. It's available everywhere. Please do write in with any kind of suggestions, feedbacks, inputs, and we'll be very happy to answer to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.